welcome to the Money Mix podcast. I'm Al, and with me is Stan.
All right. This is Stan, and today we'll be talking about Tesla and how they've been cutting prices 6 times in a row. So the company on Tuesday is cutting the prices of the Y model by 3,000 and the Model 3 by 2,000. So I think that what they're trying to do is corner the EV market because they have so much competition now. BMW, Mercedes, and other companies. And so I think they need to compete by lowering the cost. What do you think, Al?
Not at all that's yeah, for sure. It's not in like in terms of competition. I mean, right now there's still the number one in terms of EVs. It's not even close.
Okay.
But it's not like, to me it's more the kind of almost the sign of the times where so one of the things people, if you're not from America, in America we have these credits that are actually like, once you buy an electric car, you get a discount, a pretty big one. Well, just recently, these discounts started being, well, less and less and less, and you had to fit a certain criteria to get it. I think that has more to do with that. And Elon Musk, he might be lying or not. I can't say.
Okay,
But
well, so
he did.
hold on
I
a
just
second.
okay.
1 second. Sorry, you'll get back to that. But okay, let me ask you this question because you know more. You're looking for an electric car and specifically a Tesla model. Are people still able to get the tax credit or not?
Yes. Yes, they
Okay.
are, but like if you're getting um, a Model 3, your tax credit is actually half now,
Okay.
and as opposed to the $7,500, it's now $3,500,
Okay.
or $3,700,
I
or
see.
whatever.
All right. So you think because of that they're
I think
increasing the
again
discount?
it was twofold, and the second thing I was trying to say was that it's also that Tesla has a lot of money. That's one, but he Elon Musk was saying how once the production line goes through and he's able to make the cars cheaper, he's going to actually lower the price.
Uh,
Whether this is him actually keeping that promise, I can't say. But he did say that originally, that he was going to lower the prices once he can. Because
right.
right now he's just starting out the whole,
Well, I mean,
mega
it
places.
could be one of the two things, okay? It could be either that the competition is stiff, okay, that's one, or two, the economy is bad and people can't afford to purchase, at current price levels. So, I mean, I kind of feel like it's got combination of the two. So because I remember the prices that Tesla had during the shortage of the pandemic, and yeah, they were not cheap. It was pretty expensive.
Sure, but if you think about it, can you tell me cars that are so like fully electric cars that are cheap?
Well, I mean, comparatively cheap.
Okay, so okay,
I mean,
go ahead.
well, I mean, I would assume Kia is on the
No,
cheaper
no,
side.
no. Be a little bit specific. What model in Kia?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I'm
Uh,
not too I'm not too familiar. But I would just assume that these name brands, have a cheaper price point, than Tesla. That's for sure. But then look, BMW, came out and is coming out with EVs. Mercedes is increasing their EV production. Um,
everyone is.
every
Everyone is.
pretty much everyone.
Everyone is.
So before a few years back, Tesla really didn't have any competition. It was just them, right?
Mhm.
So I really do feel like I don't.
I kind of, unless you're talking about the Model S or the Model X, I really don't believe that they have much competition, because they are basically, in terms of a low premium car, which technically the Model Y or the Model 3 would be, I don't think that they have much competition.
Mm.
I don't know who, because the vast majority of the models coming out right now from these companies, like you said, BMW, Mercedes, and so on, they're not inexpensive models. These are expensive models, and with
Well,
anything minor you add is way more money as well.
okay. I would disagree with you on the fact that I know that Mercedes has an SUV that is around $40,000. So I mean, it is within the same range as
Isn't it close to like 50,000? Am I
no,
wrong with that?
no, it's 40,000 right now. I'm sure it's going to go up, but I almost feel like Mercedes is also trying to get themselves into the door and compete against Tesla. Um, I think that's what a lot of the companies are trying to do. They're just trying to take a share away from Tesla. So I think that Tesla is seeing that as an issue, and they're like, okay, you know what? Let's lower the price. Let's see, because these other manufacturers are not going to do that. You know what I mean?
And by the
Uh,
way, I did check the car you're talking about, the EQB, right?
EQB, correct?
Yeah, it's starting at $52,750. That's the starting set,
Okay.
which is more than both Model 3 starts at like $42,000 right now,
Okay.
especially after the price
Well,
cuts.
okay. You might be right on that, but there is a $7,500
Well, they
uh
both have it.
tax
Remember,
credit.
they both
Yeah,
have it. Sure, but they both have
yeah.
it.
Okay, okay. All right. Maybe they're advertising it in a different way. Maybe I saw it, with that tax credit. But anyway, what I'm trying to get to is I don't see Mercedes, BMW,
Mhm.
or other car manufacturers going back on their pricing. So Tesla definitely is doing something interesting that I didn't think they were going to do, and it's lower the price, especially right now. So it is very interesting, and they will definitely get more customers.
Right.
I'll tell you that for sure.
Well, yeah, absolutely. If you count all the discounts that you get from the government and how much the car costs, you would actually probably uh, like save a good amount of money by buying an electric car right now
Right.
with uh, with all the the amount of money that you save on on gas and everything. It's a pretty good bet that there's a lot of people right now looking for different kind of options from
Right.
regular gasoline
Right.
cars. And if Tesla is like constantly going, hey, by the way, our car is pretty cheap, it could
Exactly.
be really beneficial for sure.
Exactly. Well, you tell me because you're looking for a Tesla model. You've driven in it. You have way more experience. What's it like to drive a Tesla?
Well, I mean, this is of course very very anecdotal. So for anyone listening, this is just my experience, and everyone's gonna have their own. It's sort of the thing that you see on the videos where people are like, whoa, that's kind of the experience that you get. It's definitely one of a kind, and if you've never driven um, an electric car, especially a Tesla, it's really one of a kind. It really is an experience where you're like, oh, okay, this is different than what I'm used to. And I think that's a big selling point because if you go from a regular gasoline car, like let's say you go to a BMW dealership, a Lexus dealership, and you try about like different cars, you see like maybe different tech, maybe it looks a little different, but overall it's very very similar. Maybe like, oh, this one handles a little better, maybe this one handles a little bit worse.
Right.
uh, an electric car is just different. It's
But
not in the same
isn't
category as other cars, I would say.
true, but you know what? Like the way you're describing it now, I'm curious to drive the Tesla because I have a Mercedes EQS and it's just like pure luxury.
Hmm.
I can't really say that it drives so much more different than a regular car. It's just like a smooth car, and it's not as fast as a Tesla, generally speaking. Um, Yet again, it depends on the motor you have. But my car is 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds, which is not the fastest car I even had. So for me, it's just a nice, smooth, comfortable, luxurious ride that I
I'm
get.
sure.
But I'm just curious, like, how does the Tesla compare? Because I heard that one, it's more of a rough ride. Two, it's more noisier, and three, it's not as comfortable. So I'm just like curious if that's actually true, or is that
I think
myth?
if you're going from your car, from the car you're talking about, the $100,000+ car, yeah, it's like your car is literally made for luxury. That's the number one selling point of your car.
Right.
So I think that almost any car won't compete with that. I genuinely am not sure what car I would say that you should try that would be better in terms of just a more comfortable ride.
Well,
You're
wouldn't
basically driving an SUV, but it's not an
right?
SUV.
But wouldn't you say like the Model X or the Model S would compete with my Mercedes, or you?
No, no, no. You're again, the Model X and the Model S are much faster than your car. Like
Right, exactly.
much. They're not even like your car is a, like somebody really really old, and there's like
Oh,
Usain
I,
Bolt
I
on the other
appreciate
side.
that.
This is
I
not like
appreciate
they're
that.
they're not in the same league together. So yes,
Right.
in terms of comfortable ride, yes, those cars are comfortable. The Model 3 is comfortable. The Model Y is comfortable. They're comfortable cars. But compared to yours, no, they're rough as possible. I can only imagine, because
Right.
again, your car is literally that's the number one feature. But
How
then like there's
fast?
certain trade-offs. For
How
most people,
fast?
I
Let
would
me
say
ask you.
this. For most people, so for example, I have a Lexus Cadillac right now. Excuse me,
Lexus
Lexus. I
Cadillac?
have an SUV Cadillac right now.
Oh man, I would
It's a
love to
it's a
drive that.
right, yeah. I like it's a very comfortable ride, and I would say the Model Y and the Model 3 were more comfortable.
Wow. No
So,
way. Really?
but again, a part of that is because they are electric. A
Okay.
part of that is that they are really heavy, but they're also really really fast. So
I
because like you add those two together, and by the way, since this isn't the first year that these cars are out, they had a lot of the things fixed about them that people have complained
right,
about
right.
prior years. That's
I would,
just
okay,
the way it is.
once you get a Tesla, we'll have to compare the two. I'm really interested
Yeah,
how it actually drives.
sure.
But there's one thing that I want to ask you, because I've had this in my car. Electric cars, since they don't have like a build up, of the engine and the turbos and all that stuff, they just go
Right.
when you press on the pedal. Um, I got a headache at first. You know what I mean? It's just like my brain trying to catch up to the speed of the car, and it took me a little time to get used to it. Did you have that type of issue?
I didn't, but I also I didn't drive it long enough for me to really maybe experience that. But I also normally don't get headaches from like rough drives or anything, like not a smooth road drive or anything like
Right.
that. So
Well,
yeah.
it's a different experience because I'm not the first person who actually noticed that. The salesperson that drove my car over to my house, she told me that she used to work for Tesla, and when she would drive the cars, she would get a headache, but not from this car. So I'm just curious, maybe it's really like how much you push it, the acceleration of the car. Maybe that's the reason why, people get headaches from that. But that's just my.
Maybe I I can't I can't really say just because I usually don't get headaches from like a rough ride.
Right.
So but I know there's definitely a lot of people that do. So
All right.
it might be something like that. It might be. Yeah.
Well, good luck,
Thank
with getting the Tesla. Hopefully, you get a nice one, and maybe you can get it for half off, and then you can explain to people how you did that. Okay?
half off.
Hey, you never know.
I okay,
You never
okay
know.
yeah okay sure. I guess if I get if somebody's willing to sell it for half off, I'm buying. Just give you a heads up. All right.
You've been really lucky with cars lately, so
Hey, and that right there where you just said just jinxed it. Right
Oh,
there. Right
okay.
there.
Oh, damn it. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. I'm
Anywho, okay. All
I'm
right.
taking it back. I'm taking it back.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's move on to something even happier. Meta, and Amazon both are continuing with their huge layoffs.
Oh
They have
man.
already
Yeah.
fired thousands of people, and they are announcing even more layoffs coming up. And these are not going to be small layoffs; these are going to be big ones as well, as thousands already been fired and thousands are more going to be fired.
I hope you're
What do you
joking.
think? What?
I hope you're joking because you said something happy.
No, okay. Sarcasm, not
Okay.
not working. Then okay. All right.
Okay.
Yes, I was joking about that,
All
but yes, both of them are continuing their layoffs. What do you think this is? Do you think it's a sign of the times? Do you think it's particular to these companies, or do you think this is just kind of most companies are going to be dealing with this right now?
I think it's a sign of the times, and most companies are going to be dealing with laying off a lot of people. And the reason why are really two factors. One factor is the economy is, in my opinion, in recession, and another reason is because these workers are going to be replaced with AI. Okay, what do you think, Al?
Wait. You're saying that you think that people are going to be fired because
No,
they're
laid off.
looking to. Yeah, I'm sorry to say laid off.
Yeah, laid off.
Okay, I don't know if there's a difference, but okay.
There is
Um,
a difference. There is a difference.
Semantics, yes. And if we're in court, yes. But yes. So I'm a little confused as to you're saying that they're laying them off because they're replacing them with AI. That's literally like why you think
Well,
that is.
well, it's not only AI; it's also robotics. We're moving into the future, and
But
what the future holds is more AI being utilized.
no, sure. No, hold on. I don't
Uh,
want to get on a tangent here. I'm talking about like not the future. I'm talking about these particular people that
right,
have been fired and will be fired in the near future.
right.
You're saying they directly are being fired because you think of AI and robotics?
Well, I think that first they're being fired because of the state of the economy. But I think that a lot of these jobs, and I don't know what jobs they are, I'm just making assumptions, right? Because Amazon has a physical labor that does the packaging and delivery and all that stuff, which is a big part of their company. That will be replaced by AI along with robotics. So I mean, there's no doubt about that. That a lot of
In
these
the future, sure.
in the
I just don't
future,
want us to get off on the tangent. Yes, I agree with you that in the future AI and robotics will be a major thing. But we're talking about right now,
yeah, right now,
specifically right now, them
right.
firing, as in they're just gonna go like, all right, let's put in
Well,
Chat GPT in
right.
and
No.
put the robot from whatever
Well,
company.
right now, it's really more because of the recession. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, but let me play a little bit of a devil's advocate here. And a part of me kind of believes this, but a part of me doesn't. But so the devil's advocate argument would be so you have a company like Amazon who basically it seems like everyone uses for one thing or another, and you have and Meta is a little bit it's a social media company, so it's a little different. But
Yeah.
Amazon is huge, and both like Facebook, Meta, Instagram, all of these companies combined into one, um, they all make lots of money, but yet their stocks are down like around 50%. Whereas Apple, their stock is actually up. Why
Yeah.
are these
That's it.
big companies doing so poorly, whereas Apple
Uh,
is actually increasing? What's the difference between them, and why isn't, based on what you're saying, why isn't Apple affected
right.
by the same thing?
Well, I have a theory on as to why Apple's not affected, and their flagship items are really what iPod and iPhone.
iPod. How many years
iPad.
back are you going?
Sorry. I
iPod?
iPad.
Oh yeah, and the Macintosh computer too, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, iPad and iPhone, right? And these two products,
Well, they have more than that, I would say, but yes.
but flagship. I'm saying that people don't mind spending. And look, it's a different terrain right now. Before, you know, people would purchase the phone outright. Now, pretty much every telecom company has a plan where you pay like $30 per month for a new phone. That's literally nothing. And you have millions upon the millions of people who upgrade their phone maybe every 2 to 3 years. So I can see why it's not really affecting Apple as much as it is affecting Meta and Amazon. Meta's a different story because I almost feel like Meta, which technically is Facebook, they're kind of going away from that whole model of social media in the traditional sense, and they're going more into the metaverse, which a lot of people still don't know what it is. We can discuss it another time, but it's just like a virtual world where you will do transaction in it. So I think that as of right now, I think that's why Meta and Amazon are being affected is really because of the lack of innovation from Meta at the moment, and
Okay, okay,
Amazon is just
yeah.
physical products that are not being bought as much. So I
You
think
really don't think Amazon is being used a lot anymore?
it is, but not as much, not as much.
I don't know what you're basing it on because
Oh no, no.
anyone that I ever speak with, I mean, I really don't know of anyone that doesn't use Amazon
You know
for their
they
product.
do, but okay, you have to compare this year's numbers to last year's numbers and last year's numbers to prior. They come.
Right, right, right.
You
I
know what I
understand.
mean? It's
And
not.
you've done this?
No, no. I'm saying I'm just making
Oh, okay.
a assessment because the economy is shit, and it's not that they're not being used. They are. I'm not even trying to downplay that. All I'm trying to say is that quarter by quarter, I guarantee you the revenue has been decreasing because people are not making as much money as they did before, or they just not have a
But wait a
job.
second. But couldn't the same argument then be used for Apple as well then? That
No,
people are not making as much money, so they're not buying a premium product like that Apple has, whether it's their MacBooks, whether it's their phones, whether it's speakers, whether it's whatever
right,
anything
right.
Apple related is always a markup over
Yeah,
if you
but
get the other versions
okay,
of the same product.
my only argument to that point is that the flagship items, but especially the iPhone, it's dirt cheap when you compare to paying outright as opposed to paying on a monthly basis like $30 a month. People can afford that, you
Okay,
know.
okay, but
So
if people are struggling, like you're saying, and they don't want to spend a lot of money, they can go for a 1 year old LG or something that will cost them like $300 or $250 instead of $1,000 or $1,200 for an iPhone.
but that's what I'm trying to explain to you. They're not paying outright $1,000. They
I understand, but I'm saying that okay, but you could still make an argument that they would instead of paying, let's say, an extra $40 a month for the phone, they could be paying an extra $5 for a phone and not have an iPhone if money is an issue,
well,
right?
you mean $25, but what I'm saying is
No, no, no. I mean $5. Meaning, if you're getting a $250 phone over a 2 year period, it's around $5.
no, no, okay, right, but I'm saying the iPhone is like $30 a month. What I'm
I
trying
was paying when I got mine, and it was $1,000. I was paying 40. Maybe I just got ripped off, but
Well, it depends which model you got, but I think the base starts at like 30. But what I'm trying to say is that $30 a month, you can ask, your parents to help you with that. That's why I think that Apple's not struggling as much. You know what I mean? That's just
well, no, 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 no. Hold on a second. It's not that they're not struggling; they're profiting.
yeah, that's
Like meaning they're actually profiting. They're like you're talking about a premium company. It's kind of like saying, hey, by the way, everyone is struggling. People are really trying to save money, but yet Louis Vuitton is showing record profits. It's like, well, which one is it? Well, yeah, I
Well,
mean, it seems like people are still buying Louis Vuitton.
well, see, okay. Look,
And
Louis,
again, by the way, I have no clue whether Louis Vuitton is doing well. I just use that
right.
as an example. I have no clue. It might be.
Louis Vuitton is a highly premium company unless you have like average people
And
who
you think Apple is?
I don't think Apple is Louis Vuitton.
It's not yes, because one is
What?
a designer and the other one isn't.
Thousand?
But in terms of electronics, I would absolutely put Apple into the ultra premium category, wouldn't you?
No, I wouldn't just because
Okay, what okay,
no, no,
what
no, no.
about
I'm saying I don't put any of them into that. Maybe there's some
oh,
special
okay.
phone. Maybe there's some special
Okay,
phone that
that's like a
okay.
non answer there. It's like, well,
What
I
I'm
don't put anyone in there, so it's
no,
like
no, no.
obviously it doesn't exist then. Okay.
Maybe there's a special phone that Donald Trump pre-ordered for himself, and he only uses it on his golden toilet seat. I don't know, but I'm talking about a
What?
regular. Yeah, yeah. You don't think he uses a special phone on the
A
golden toilet?
special golden toilet phone?
Hey, he's Donald Trump. So
Okay.
yeah. So that's my opinion. I really do think that the economy is not doing well, and Amazon and Meta are not going to be the only ones that are actually going to lay off a lot of people. I think that this is just the beginning, and then we have banks that are going to be going under as well. So that's going to push other companies to start laying off. So yeah, for another few months up until towards the end of the year, we're probably gonna see a lot of layoffs. So that's my opinion.
Again, as an overall, I do, but I kind of feel like, and I might be wrong on this, but I kind of feel like a lot of it is in the tech sector. And for whatever reason, Apple isn't affected as pretty much
Right.
everyone else is. Because I
Right.
mean, there's a lot of companies that are not down by a little bit. You're talking about trillion-dollar companies being down 50%, because that's what Amazon, I'm not sure if they still are. I would imagine, but they were a multi-trillion-dollar company. I'm assuming they probably still are a trillion-dollar
Well,
company, but they're down 50%. Meta
yeah.
is down 50%.
Yeah.
Netflix is down 50%. You're
Well,
looking at these companies and you're like, okay,
yeah.
so like one of the common denominators here is they're tech companies.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, people don't have as much money as they did before, so I think that's why these companies are struggling. But so the number one company with the biggest market cap is Apple at around 3 trillion. So if let's say Amazon was at a 2 trillion valuation, now they're at 1 trillion. So there's not too many companies at a trillion plus dollars.
sure.
So let's just put it to an end. I think that this is just the start for this year. We're gonna see more blood in the streets. So if I were you, I would just like stick with your phone. Don't upgrade. Wait until you get a better job or a job.
Okay.
So that's my perspective on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I would say to people in terms of whether they should or shouldn't do that. I do believe that there will be layoffs, but I kind of do feel like they're going to be more in the tech sector, more than any other sector. That's kind of like what it seems like the trend is at the moment. But that's
What
just
about what about banking? Banking is potentially going to struggle as well. So I think banking might also have a lot of layoffs coming up.
mm, I
No?
don't know. Usually like the thing with banks is they usually get bailout. So I don't see banks closing down where they're like, oh look at all these branches closing down. I really don't see that. Usually when a bank is in trouble, the government either says to a bigger bank buy the smaller ones, and if it's
Right.
a big bank that's in trouble, then the government steps in and gives them money so they won't be in
Yes.
trouble. So I'm
Yes.
I'm not necessarily worried in that respect of big layoffs from banks.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about it then.
Okay,
So,
all right. So since I
yeah,
said that.
that's it. So we're gonna move on to Gary Gensler, who is in charge of the SEC right now. and this guy is really running the show on cryptocurrency, and he was deposed at the House hearing 2 days ago, and they really went after him. And the reason why they went after him is because cryptocurrency and blockchain is the future. And a lot of companies are really scared to do anything in the United States in regards to that. And he's just going after every cryptocurrency coin, and he is serving subpoenas, and he's suing them. One big example is the Ripple lawsuit that they have against XRP. So, what do you think, Al? What do you think about this whole issue?
Um, it seems like he does have it out for cryptos. It so I think the hard part is to decide whether this is a noble pursuit or this is just somebody who's working on behalf of somebody else because it would be beneficial to others. And
Right,
I don't know which really it is,
right,
because I
right.
can make an argument for both, but it really does seem like well, not seem like, he clearly has it out for
Yeah,
cryptos.
yeah,
He's trying to make it out to be it's for, quote unquote safety,
right,
but it
right.
it really doesn't seem like it. Like, if he wants to be safe, then every new cryptocurrency that comes in should have a check before it is labeled a cryptocurrency, before it goes through. Do that. Go like, hey, before anyone could buy or sell it in the United States, it has to go through this rigorous check. We need to make sure there's
Right.
validity to it. And I completely
Yeah,
get that. But
yeah,
when you're going and you're trying to sue existing cryptocurrency, and that obviously doing any of that affects the price, affects where it's sold, that at that point, it just seems like there's more to it than just
yeah.
question, you know?
He has a vendetta. But the funny thing is that Ethereum is not a security and Bitcoin is not a security, but everything that is built on Ethereum is a security. So
Right.
it's like, what is going? But I have a message for Gary Gensler, and that is, listen,
I'm sure he's listening. He's
yeah,
one of our
I
he's one of our subscribers. But
well,
tell him,
he
tell him.
better be soon. Listen, when I was doing stocks, I lost $30,000 by investing into these so-called penny stocks. You know what I mean? Where's the regulation on that? And the funny thing is, I have no clue what I was doing. Right? Initially, I put my money into good companies like IMAX and Tesla, and all these reputable companies, but then I saw that, oh, I can make so much money by investing into these penny stocks. But they turned out to be shell companies. Shell companies are just like made up companies that don't have any money sitting there. So meaning they don't have any liquidation. So when you try to sell that stock, you can't. There's no money there. So where's the regulation? Why aren't you going after these companies? I mean, that would be my question. Why are you focusing on cryptocurrency, which has no framework, no regulation from Congress? Why are you going after these guys? Why don't you go after an industry that's already regulated? Get rid of these penny stocks. Don't you think, Al? Like,
One argument
yeah,
that I could see why a cryptocurrency is an easier target could be, there isn't, like when you're talking about individual coins, they don't really have that many. What do you call those guys? The people that go to.
market.
No. The people that go to government and they. Um,
Oh, yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like every time you say something or I say something like that, we both like space out. So
right.
I
But
know
anyways,
it's
it's people that go in and they try
special
to.
interest,
And
not special interest, like something.
what?
Not special interest, but something similar to that, right? Like
Well, I mean, it is special interest groups where they
lobbyist,
send what?
lobbyist, lobby.
Lobbyists. Thank you. Yes, lobbyists. When they send lobbyists in, uh, like individual coins don't really have that. Whereas, um, whereas like
Good
big
point.
companies do. So when you're like trying to do anything against stocks, well, then you're dealing with really big boys that, like, okay, there's a lot of money behind them, and it's like, to me at least, that could be like one of the issues is that they're really like, cryptocurrency doesn't have a big lobbying group behind them, whereas stocks have a long running one. That's why, I mean, so many really messed up things have happened in stocks, and they just continue kind of going the way that they've always been going.
Right.
Like, even though, like, most people, if you ask them, hey, do you think it's okay for some people to be able to trade off hours and others not? Most people go, no, of course not. That's wrong. Yeah, yeah. Most people would agree to that, but yet we still have it. There's people
So,
that are trading while no one else can.
so pretty much one word, and that is corruption, right? Uh,
Well,
you
he
know,
didn't start that,
no,
but
no,
he
no.
is obviously not also doing anything to change that.
Right.
So he's
Okay.
going
So,
after something that doesn't really have that much power, and he's like,
yeah.
yeah, we're gonna correct this.
Well, yeah, I mean, they went after a cryptocurrency called library credits. Okay, so it's very similar to YouTube. You can post any YouTube video you want, and they determined that library credits is a security. They subpoenaed them and they kept on pressing them, and every time that they would go to court, library had to shell up a lot of money. So essentially, by doing that, they bankrupted them. Okay. And this is what they want to do essentially to other cryptocurrencies as well. There's a big fight with XRP that they have right now. And when Gary Gensler was under oath, he was actually asked, is Ethereum a security? Is XRP a security? And guess what he said, Al? What do you think he said?
He said, I don't know what a security is.
That would be that would be something else. He said pretty much he dodged the question and he never answered it.
Oh, so similar to what I said.
Well, essentially, but the thing is that like if it is a security, then say it's a security, right?
Right.
Right? You know whether it's a security or not, but he did not want to answer any question that was straightforward
Right.
from the
He didn't want
house.
to be held liable for any of that. He didn't want to be held
Yeah.
down to what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the funny thing is that Coinbase, okay,
Hmm.
the leader in the U.S. for trading and buying cryptocurrency, says if there isn't going to be a clear framework of regulation for cryptocurrencies, they're actually considering closing. This is as far as what I understand in the United States, and they may transition to Great Britain. So, I mean, this would be really, really bad for the industry if they can't figure this out. And on top of that, there was a House representative who said that Gary Gensler should be fired. So, I mean, this was a very, very heated um, testimony and QA under oath for Gary Gensler. So, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. This guy really is in trouble.
See, I'm actually kind of curious if that really is true, though. I'm really curious if he's in trouble or if he's really doing what people in his circles want.
Right.
See, I don't know if he's really in trouble or if this is just like, you wait until the next president, if there's going to be one, or if there's going to be somebody else appointed. Because
Right.
right now, I don't hear Biden question about him. I don't hear Kamala Harris question about him. So, like, I don't know how in trouble like he really is.
Well, I mean, come on. Biden is either practicing going up the stairs or he's taking a nap. So, I mean, those are probably one of the two things that he's doing right now. So, yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I don't think that he's going anywhere as of right now, but people are laying out the bricks essentially to stone him, to get him out. to get somebody in who is more friendly to cryptocurrency and take it to the next level. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Sure, I agree. I agree. I mean, it's going to be a fight, but I think at the moment he really isn't going anywhere, and this is what we will get
Yeah,
from the administration. This is what we'll get from them.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
no clue whether Coinbase is going to stay. I don't know if Binance is going to do anything, but yeah. But I mean, what he's doing right now is obviously harm to the cryptocurrency market.
Yeah.
But
He's going
whether
after everybody. He's literally going after everybody. So I think everybody is just scared, hoping they will not, get that letter in the mail saying, "Come over, let's play." You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah, true, very true.
all right, guys, thank you so much for listening to our second Money Mix podcast. We hope that you stay tuned each week, subscribe, like, and share. We'll see you guys next time.
All right, guys, later.